When a woman turns 50, something subtle and a little heartbreaking often begins to happen. The world starts to dim her light. She's no longer described as youthful, vibrant, or stunning like she used to be. The fashion industry quietly steps away. The attention in the room shifts elsewhere. And in the quiet moments when no one's looking, she starts to wonder, can I still be beautiful? Why does nothing I wear feel right anymore? Am I trying too hard to hold on to something I've already lost? I hear you, truly. Because I've had this exact conversation hundreds of times with the women I've worked with, strong, soulful women who have raised families, carried losses in silence, and spent decades showing up for everyone but themselves. Somewhere along the way, they forgot they're still allowed to shine, not despite their age, but because of it. See, fashion isn't here to make you look younger. It's here to help you return to yourself. The version of you that's wise, grounded, and quietly radiant. And color. Color is the first language in that journey home. In today's video, we're diving into 6 powerful colors designed especially for women over 50. Not just to help you look good, but to help you feel seen, respected, and fully aligned with the woman you've become. You don't need to stand out loudly. You just deserve to be seen, truly seen. So let color say what you've never been taught to speak aloud. Because beauty at this stage isn't in the lines on your face. It's in the presence you've earned through a life well lived. And if this message touches something inside you, hit like and subscribe to Bold After 50. This is where we celebrate real beauty, real stories, and real style after the spotlight has shifted. Now, let's get into today's journey, starting with the very first color. Ivory, the quiet kind of elegance. Here's something interesting. When I mention the color white to women over 50, most of them gently shake their heads. White washes me out, they say. It doesn't flatter my skin anymore. But here's the thing, they're usually thinking of pure white, that bright, clinical, wedding dress white that can feel harsh, almost cold. What they're not thinking about is ivory. Ivory is a whole different story. It's soft. It's warm. It doesn't scream for attention. It whispers with grace. It's like a gentle mist at sunrise, just enough to soften the edges time has shaped, and tender enough to glow against your natural skin tone. For women over 50, when our skin starts to shift subtly in color and texture, ivory becomes a beautifully forgiving choice. It doesn't flatten you. It lifts you. I once worked with a retired dancer, elegant, poised, but she told me she'd stopped wearing light colors after 55. Then one day, she tried on an ivory silk blouse. She stood in front of the mirror quietly for a long time. And then she said, I didn't think I could still feel this beautiful. That moment is why I love ivory. It doesn't demand youth. It honors experience. It lets you show up as exactly who you are, elegant, unrushed, and unapologetically present. And ivory is incredibly versatile. In the summer, an ivory linen dress feels airy and light, like you're walking through sunlight. In the winter, a soft ivory wool coat over chocolate trousers is pure sophistication. Even the little things, an ivory scarf, a handbag, or a pair of flats, can light up your whole look without ever trying too hard. If your hair is silver, ivory makes it shimmer. If your skin is deeper or olive-toned, it creates the most gentle, natural contrast, no heavy makeup needed, and pair it with soft gold jewelry. The effect is magic. You'll see it in how people look at you. Because ivory isn't just a color, it's a statement. It says, I don't need to be loud to be seen. I don't need to be young to be radiant. I'm here in full bloom, and that's more than enough. And now that you've felt the softness and quiet strength of ivory, it's time to meet the next shade, one that runs deeper, richer, and full of story, burgundy. A color of depth, of lived experience, and a kind of quiet magnetism that you don't chase. It comes to you. Let's step into that next. Burgundy, the beauty of quiet wisdom. There comes a point in every woman's life, especially after 50, when the fire inside doesn't burn quite as loudly as it once did. It's not gone, not at all. It's just deeper, steadier, like a glowing ember that's been carefully tended over time. And to me, burgundy is the color that reflects that stage of life perfectly. Burgundy isn't loud or flashy. It doesn't demand attention, it earns it. It carries this quiet magnetism, like a woman who's lived, learned, and doesn't need to prove a thing anymore. She just is, and that presence is more powerful than anything she could say. Unlike bright reds that scream youth and urgency, burgundy has a grounded elegance. It's the kind of color that says, I know who I am and I like her. I once worked with a retired professor, 62 years old. Her daughter was getting married, and she hesitated when I suggested a burgundy silk wrap dress for the evening reception. I've never worn a color like this, she told me. I always thought deep reds were too bold for me. But when she walked into that room that night, she didn't need an introduction. All eyes turned to her, not because the dress was dramatic, but because she was radiant. That's what burgundy does. It doesn't outshine you, it amplifies you. This shade looks especially stunning on women with medium to deep skin tones, and it's beautifully complementary to silver or salt and pepper hair. It draws the warmth out of your skin, your eyes, even your smile. You don't need heavy accessories. A simple pair of gold earrings or a soft satin clutch is all you need. And for day wear, a burgundy blouse tucked into camel trousers or paired with ivory denim is a beautiful way to show up polished without feeling overdressed. Some women tell me they are afraid burgundy might feel too serious. But actually, it has a softness when worn in lighter fabrics, silk, crepe, or even fine knits. It's one of those shades that carries emotional depth. You wear it and suddenly your posture changes. Your voice settles, you feel centered. I've always believed that burgundy is for the woman who knows her worth, even if she doesn't shout it from the rooftops. She's the one people listen to when she finally speaks, not because she raised her voice, but because everyone can sense the weight of her wisdom. And the best part, burgundy pairs beautifully with so many other tones. Ivory gives it a softness, gold adds richness, navy brings in a smart, intellectual edge. It's the kind of color you keep reaching for, especially on days when you want to feel deeply you. Not dressed up, not covered up, just quietly powerful. And one more thing, if you've ever tried a burgundy lip, you know what I'm talking about. There's something about it that says, yes, I've lived, and I've loved every step of it. So if you've never considered burgundy before, give it a try. Start with a scarf, a blouse, even a pair of shoes, and watch how it changes the way you carry yourself and how the world responds to you. Because when you wear burgundy, you're not asking for attention. You're telling a story of strength, of experience, of grace that doesn't need decoration. And sometimes, that quiet kind of confidence is the most unforgettable thing in the room. Now that we've explored the rich, grounded beauty of burgundy, it's time to take a step into something a little brighter. A color that many women hesitate to try, but once they do, it becomes a signature. A color full of light, energy, and inner fire, burnt gold. Let's keep going. Burnt gold, the quiet power of a modern woman. Among all the colors that often get overlooked by women in midlife, burnt gold, or as some call it, mustard, ochre, or golden earth, is one of the most misunderstood. Many people shy away from it, thinking it's hard to wear, that it doesn't suit their skin, or that it draws too much attention. But to me, burnt gold holds the energy of the sun just as it's setting. It's not the bright blaze of noon. It's the golden hour light, soft, steady, and full of stories. Burnt gold doesn't try to stand out, but once you wear it, people can't help but take notice. I once worked with a retired school teacher, 58 years old. She told me I always wear gray, brown, or black because I don't want to be noticed. So I picked out a linen burnt gold blouse for her, gentle draped neckline, wide sleeves, paired with slim black trousers. At first, she hesitated, but when she stepped outside into the daylight, her skin lit up, not just because of the color, but because something inside her shifted. She smiled and said, "I didn't think I could shine like this." Burnt gold has this magical harmony with Asian skin tones, especially those with warm or neutral undertones. It doesn't sit on the skin, it blends into it, like a quiet conversation between fabric and body. It gives you this gentle inner glow, like warmth radiating from the inside out. Imagine a flowy burnt gold maxi dress in the summer, catching the breeze as you walk. You're not just wearing an outfit, you're moving like a calm flame. And in winter, burnt gold becomes bold. A wool coat or a cashmere sweater in this tone helps you stand tall on gray, chilly days, like you're carrying the last bit of sunshine with you. What I love most about burnt gold is how little it takes to make an impact. A scarf, a pair of shoes, a handbag, that's all you need to activate something powerful in your presence. Gold, bronze, or copper jewelry looks stunning with this shade. They reflect light in all the right places and echo that warm strength of a woman who's lived, learned, and isn't trying to prove anything anymore. As for makeup, reach for earthy tones, terracotta lipsticks, burnt orange, or brick red shades. They don't scream for attention, but they linger beautifully. Add a soft blush, maybe a light golden highlighter, and you'll look lit from within, without looking like you're trying. I'll never forget one winter morning walking down a New York street, cold wind biting at my face. I was wearing a burnt gold coat that fell just past my knees. A woman, also in her 50s, stopped me on the sidewalk and said, "You make winter feel a little less cold." And that's the magic of color. Sometimes we don't need to say anything at all. Color speaks for us. Burnt gold is one of those voices. It doesn't shout. It doesn't beg to be seen. It simply shows up with grace, presence, and quiet fire. And now I want to take you to a deeper tone. One that's rich with emotion, full of soul, and quietly powerful. Plum. A color that doesn't try to make you look younger. It makes you feel anchored in who you truly are. If you're ready, let's keep walking this journey together. Plum, the quiet light within. Some colors don't need to shout to get attention. Some shades don't have to be bright to leave a lasting impression. Plum is one of those colors. It's not made for women who want to make noise. It's made for women who know, deep down, that their quiet strength, their life experience, and their emotional depth are what truly make people stop and look. I once worked with a woman who was 63, widowed for nearly 5 years. No children, lived alone. She was soft-spoken, kept to herself, but her eyes, there was something in them I couldn't ignore. When I wrapped her in a long, tailored plum wool coat, she stood in front of the mirror for a long time. She didn't say a word, but her eyes welled up. Finally, in the softest voice, she whispered, "I see myself, not the woman who lost someone, the woman who survived it all and is still standing." Plum carries a kind of elegance that's hard to define. It's not flashy, it's not dated, it's refined, subtle, deep. It reminds me of wisdom, of lived experiences, of the beauty of a woman who has loved, lost, learned, and kept going, who's done chasing attention because her presence already speaks volumes. On deeper or neutral-toned skin, Plum sings. It brightens your complexion without makeup, softens your features, and adds warmth to your smile. It doesn't make you look too sharp. It makes you felt, emotionally, completely, truly. You can wear Plum to formal events, a knee-length silk dress or a cashmere coat layered over ivory or black. Or you can slip it quietly into your everyday style, a scarf, a pair of heels, a clutch. Just a touch is enough to add depth. Plum pairs beautifully with neutrals, ivory, beige, charcoal gray, or black. Each combination tells a different story. Sometimes serious, sometimes mysterious. and sometimes soft and deeply comforting. When it comes to makeup, think berry-toned lips, soft plum blush, dusty rose eyeshadow. Keep the foundation light and let your natural radiance do the rest. A satin lipstick, not matte, not glossy, adds just the right amount of quiet power. And if you've embraced your silver hair or even kept your natural black or salt and pepper color, congratulations! You are the perfect muse for plum. This color reflects off silver strands like late afternoon sunlight, soft, warm, unforgettable. I'll always remember one woman, 60 years old, who walked into her daughter's wedding wearing a plum silk gown. No one asked her how old she was. No one whispered about her age. They just looked at her and said, "She's beautiful in a way I can't explain." That's the magic of plum. It doesn't try to make you look younger. It honors exactly who you are right here, right now, with all your depth, all your history, all your quiet pride. And you don't have to say a word. People will feel it. So far, we've walked through 5 shades: the gentle grace of ivory, the bold spirit of burgundy, the life-filled green of emerald, the quiet fire of burnt gold, and now the soul-deep strength of plum. But our journey isn't quite over. There's one final color to explore, a shade with royal presence. A color that belongs to women who lead with confidence, poise, and inner authority. Royal blue. If your heart is open, let's take this last step together, where you don't just wear a color, you wear your essence. Royal blue, presence that needs no explanation. You don't have to dress young to be noticed. You don't have to shout to be seen. Sometimes all it takes is how you show up. Royal blue isn't just a color, it's a quiet declaration, a confident whisper that says, "I don't need to speak loudly, I just need to stand here and you'll feel me." In our 20s, we choose colors to attract attention. In our 30s and 40s, we choose them to blend in, to fit in. But once we reach our 50s and beyond, color becomes a mirror, reflecting not how we want to be seen, but who we truly are. Royal blue is for women who have walked through life's storms, who have loved, lost, succeeded, stumbled, and now, more than anything, just want to live truthfully. I remember a woman I worked with, 57 years old, recently retired from a long career as a marketing director. When I asked what style she was looking for, she said, "I just want to feel relaxed, comfortable. I'm not trying to impress anyone anymore." So I showed her a long royal blue wool coat, soft to the touch but structured in all the right ways. She stood in front of the mirror for a long time. Then, almost in a whisper, she said, "This is me, not the wife, not the mom, not the woman who just retired. Just me, confident, free, no longer trying to please anyone." That's the power of choosing the right color for where you are in life. You don't need the clothes to speak for you. You just need to show up in them and people will feel your energy. Royal blue lights up your eyes, your skin, your features, but in a calm, composed way. It doesn't scream status. It radiates wisdom, trust, and quiet pride. Pair it with ivory or soft beige for timeless elegance. Add a hint of gold or silver jewelry, and you'll feel both powerful and feminine. Even if it's just a scarf, a shoe, or a statement handbag in this color, watch how heads turn, not because it's loud, but because it's you. And when it comes to makeup, keep it soft. A light base, a berry-toned lip, a touch of earth-toned blush. If you're wearing your natural silver, salt and pepper, or jet black hair, royal blue will make it shine like moonlight. This color isn't for women who are trying to prove they are still young. It's for women who already know, "I don't need to be young again. I just need to be fully, honestly me in this beautiful stage of life." Wearing royal blue is wearing presence. You walk into a room. You haven't said a word, but every head turns, not because of the color, but because of how you wear it, because of who you've become in it. And that's why I've saved this color for last. Because after the softness of ivory, the richness of burgundy, the life force of emerald, the inner glow of burnt gold, and the soulful depth of plum, Royal blue is the exclamation point. It says, "I've become the woman I once dreamed of being." Dear friend, this journey wasn't just about color. It was about rediscovery. It was about giving yourself permission to be seen again. Not through noise, but through presence. Not by chasing youth, but by owning your worth. If you're in your 50s or 60s, this is not the end of a cycle. This is a new beginning. A chapter where you no longer need to perform, prove, or please. Where you get to just be free, grounded, powerful. If something in this video spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to subscribe to Bold After 50. Here, no one's rushing you to look younger. No one's judging you for your laugh lines or your silver strands. You'll be seen, you'll be heard, just as you are. And if you're ready, drop 3 simple words in the comments. I'm ready. Because it's time. Not just to live, but to live boldly, in your own way, on your own terms, starting now.